that is one of the best. Useless. In this box is the Katana Mini X. It's a katana, but it's portable. And in this video, I'm going to play it, I'm going to review it, I'm going to compare it to the original Katana Mini and the Katana 50. So let's have a look at what's inside the box. Firstly, hone your tone with the cutting-edge craftsmanship of a Japanese katana sword. Let's flip it over because you actually get a great explanation of what the amp does without me talking too much. So, it's made for an electric guitar, an acoustic guitar, and a bass guitar. You've got this same analog gain circuit as you have in the other katanas. There's a 3-band EQ, not just a tone knob, which I think is a great addition. There are 10 effects on board. I will, of course, delve into and demo all of them. There's an inbuilt tuner. There's also a headphones out and recording out, and the built-in rechargeable battery is 5 volts and rechargeable via USB-C. Let's crack it open. What's that under there? Oh, yummy silica gel. There it is, in all its glory. Wow. Oh, I forgot the switches. That's a nice little switch. Very tactile. Input on the left, of course. I like the way Boss make their amps where everything goes from the left to the right in terms of signal chain. What else we got here? We've got a manual kind of thing and the charging cable, which is USB-C to USB vintage, whatever that is. And that's probably, oh, it's a quick start guide, but there's a QR code for the web link where you get the up-to-date manual. In fact, if you want to go ahead and scan that, you can do that right now, look, just there. And then this is a piece of paper that I do not understand. Oh, incorrect. USB AC adapter, at least 5 volts. So just like if you're buying a smartphone, you don't get the wall plug-in thing, you do get the cable. Let's hope you have one of those adapters at home. Just to show you the size, there it is next to an Angry Driver. So it's about 1.5 Boss pedals high. And then depth-wise, we're looking at almost exactly a Boss pedal. And lengthwise, we're looking at just over 2 Boss pedals, which is a new measurement scheme that I'm going to use. Now, before I hear it for the first time at the same time as you, let's talk about price. The Katana Mini X is going to set you back 169 euros or about 150 pounds and probably about the same in dollars. That is less than I paid for this Boss pedal or Boss JHS pedal. So, I think the price is great, but does it sound any good? That's the important part, right? I haven't actually heard it yet, so first up, I'm going to do the in-the-room sound. Plonk it on there. Now, you might watch some videos where they sound instantly great or instantly bad. I don't know what it's going to sound like, and recording in the room is important to me because you really get to hear what it sounds like in the room, I hope. I will do some close miking in a second. Okay, so we're going to go for clean and just the straight up clean, and all knobs are going to be at 12 with no effects at the moment. First impressions, it does not sound like a huge amp, unbelievably. People watching videos like this sometimes comment on how a small amp sounds like a small amp, and I just want to cover that instantly. It doesn't sound like a big amp, it sounds like what it looks like. It also doesn't sound like a toy. Let's just push that volume up and see what happens, see if it stays clean. It does. Let's push the gain, see if we can get it a bit dirty. It does. So it's dirty, but in a good way. And I hope you can hear this on that Zoom recorder. Let's go for the crunch, and I'm going to put it back to 12 like that. Right, there we go. It's a little bit more trebly than I'd like, so it's lacking some bottom end. Maybe adjust the EQ, Andy. It's not mind-blowing. It's not like, wow, I need that. Ah, there we go. Unsurprisingly, if I add some effects to it, it sounds better. More like a real amp than what it just sounded like. Let's just try the brown quickly, and then I'll close mic it. Before I do, this is a Fender Player Series built in Mexico Strat. I just thought I'd keep it fairly affordable. Right, now. I really like that. There's a bit of noise coming out of there now, though. Okay, right, let's close mic it. But my first impressions are that I'm not blown away. I'm a little bit saddened by that. But don't take that as my final review, because I am going to work with the amp, and this is my first plugging in. But hopefully it reflects what you might get when you plug in. It is loud. So I've close mic'd it with the Lewitt MTP 440DM. That's a dynamic mic, a bit like a 57. And the speaker, as you can possibly see the grill cloth going in there, runs from here to here. And I've got it roughly in between where the dust cap would be, the middle, and the edge, in the middle of those 2 points, which is one of my favorite places to get a realistic sound. So that's what you're going to be hearing from now on, unless I say this is the room mic. I found the source of that kind of empty bottom end, and it's probably this guitar, because I tried some others through it, and the amp sounded a lot bigger, a lot fuller. So now that I've got it mic'd up with a close mic, in the edit, we'll switch between the room mic, which I'm pointing to the camera because it's right underneath the camera, and the Lewitt MTP 440DM. So the first thing I want to do is run you through the amp variations. It's going to be clean, and then clean variation, then crunch variation, and then brown and brown variation. Clean channel variation 1 first, and I've added a bit of reverb just to give it a little bit of space. And I'm on the neck pickup here. Let's try the same thing on the variation. The clean channel doesn't really jump out at me when it's totally clean, but I have had a little nosy through the effect, so that's when it does jump out. Variation seems to be a bit darker and a bit quieter. Definitely prefer the variation 1, the first one. Right, I'm going to change guitars to some humbuckers. I'm going to go for the crunch channel. Keeping it affordable with this Ibanez Iceman, and just like before, we'll switch between the close mic and the room mic. All right, let's hear that variation. That's a lot of fun. And on that one, I prefer variation rather than the standard channel. I don't know what it's doing, but it seems to be adding a bit more of bottom end, and it seems to be louder and fuller. Definitely prefer that. I'm keeping the gain where it is. I feel that it was a bit too gainy. Definitely very Boss overdrive rather than Katana. It sounds a bit more like the floor systems from Boss, like the GT series. The Katana, when I say Katana, I mean the big amps. They feel a bit more open, so maybe I need to just adjust the gain on that. Just drop it down a bit. Yes, I did need to drop it down a bit just to give it a bit more clarity. It was a bit too much gain. So with that, let's go to the brown sound, and I'll find another guitar that I think suits this kind of sound a little more, although I could stay with this. No, let's switch it up. That is a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I really thought this was going to suck on the brown channel, and then I thought the brown channel was going to be the worst. I think it might be my favorite. I don't really know what I'm doing with these kind of riffs, but they are fun to just chug away. And yeah, so it's fun, and surely that's what guitar should be. That makes it fun. Let's try variation, see if that remains fun. That's not as much fun, in my opinion, for me as the player. So the variations seem to be adding, on every channel, more bottom end and more fullness. And for the sound that I set that up, it didn't kind of work. But I was kind of pushing the bass. I wonder what happens if I just push that off. And I'm adding all the treble, by the way, on that channel. It was all the way up there, if you saw it. I hope you saw it. I hope you're paying attention. I think I know what Boss are doing with the variations. Because Katana is famous for cutting through the mix, hence the name, maybe some people have said those sounds are too thin for them, so they've given you the variation. Well done, Boss. Let's have a look at the effects, and I'm going to choose whatever amp I think is relevant for that effect, but I'm going to do every one. And I'm so curious about the synthesizer. I'm not a massive fan of chorus. I think that sounds great. Might have been my mood today, whatever it is. But the chorus on that does a great chorus. However, does it do this? Yeah, it does. It'll get you through the chorus stuff. Let's move on. What's next? Phaser. It's a very slow phaser, and there's a very small amount of adjustment you can have in these knobs, kind of like a hotel room shower. So I'm just going to play a note and see what it does to it on the phaser, and keep it phaser. Oh, there's really not much, but that jump is speed. could be speed and depth. It's definitely speed. Let's move on to trem. Again, I think that is going to be speed. Oh, there's really not much between those settings, is there? A very usable trem. I think it's beautiful. It's warbly and there's no loss of volume overall. Great. Sounds great with this surfliner, by the way. What's up next? Tiwa. Tiwa. I have history with Tiwa. I tend to just go off into a funk and never come back, and I always have to pull myself back. That is great. Sometimes I look for the one thing that makes me want something, and just being able to plug that in for less than the price of the pedal and have that sound. That's really fun. And I don't care if it's not cool, or if it is cool, or if it's sick, or other words that mean good or bad these days. That's fun. And that's the word I'm sticking with. I really, really enjoy that. I have no idea what's next, though. Deaf. I don't know what deaf means. Is it super loud? Oh, that's going to be... Oh, that's a real dad joke. Sorry. I had to look it up. Deaf stands for D fretter, so I'm going to have to plug a bass into it. That actually gives me an excuse to use the tuner, which does mute the sound out the speaker, by the way. Doesn't like bass strings very much on the tuner. But it sounds great with the bass. Oh my goodness. Let's try the crunch channel for that, just to give it a bit of dirty bass. That's immense fun. I'm going to kick off the reverb for a minute. There's a bit of farting. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm quite excited by this. Where's the switch? There. Yeah, quite a lot of farting. Quite a lot of farting. I wonder if it's that effect. Hang on, let's give it a chance with the bass. It is. That sounds fine, although a little bit thin. If you don't like bass, you might want to skip this part. And if you do like bass, you might want to skip this part because I'm just going to guitar out on a bass. There's a lot of farting / rattling there that I don't think should come from a bass. I don't think this is a great bass amp if you need actual volume. If you just need a bit of reinforcement, I'm just trying to make it sound the best for a bass. Oh. No. Straight up bass review. I don't think this is good for a bass. But it might be good for a baritone. Yeah, great for a baritone. Right. Now let's give it some dirt. Give it a bit. That is all the bass. Oh my goodness. Where was I? I was doing effects apparently, but I've gone to bass and baritone. Can't decide if that's a good sound. It is a fun sound, and I seem to be all about fun today. I don't think I'd like to listen to someone else playing that, so I apologise for me just playing that. That's the kind of thing that's fun for yourself, and probably not others. Let's move on. Synth! Oh, I'm so happy. All right, I'm glad I've got the baritone. I'm going to do synth baritone first. I might change back to the clean because that's just a high frequency farting sound. Right. Seems to be better. Let's put that back in the middle, just to be fair. That actually scares me. How thin and nasally it sounds. I'm going back to guitar. This kind of reminds me of the insane setting on a Spider amp. Like, legendarily interesting, but still legendary. I'm going to have to twiddle with the knob. It baffles me why Boss have put this in there. I do kind of like it, but it baffles me why it's there. Doesn't seem to like that string. Oh, doesn't it? Gotta be really gentle with it. That sounds terrible. If you want to annoy someone at a jam session or at someone's house and they're doing an acoustic set or something, take this, put a baritone through that synth section, perfect. Perfectly awful. But I don't know why they've put it there. What would I have put there? What would you have put there? Let me know in the comments. What should be there instead of that synth? Right, let's try the last one, which is oct, which I hope is octave. Some hidden 8-tentacled freak gonna jump out at me. Now there is an effect I can get behind. Again, it's a sort of single note kind of thing. I wonder if that can handle a bass. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna push it to baritone first. There might be a slight buzz, like a bottom end farting out. Is it only octave down? Okay, so there's, in the time-based effects, you can alter the speed and possibly the depth and rate and stuff. But in those effects, it's either on or it's off. Or is it affecting the level? I can't figure it out. I genuinely don't know. My ears are so confused right now. I'm still thinking about that synth. I like this a lot. We've got to go full on metal. I really dig that. There's some great sounds in this effects section. And there's also a couple of real stinkers as well. I'm going to watch other people's videos and see if they can get anything out of that synth. Synth? Was it synth? Yeah. I'm baffled, but I still like it. I just want to make it clear that I still like the synth. I just don't know why it's there. Maybe just to make people think, wow, it's got a synth. Must be futuristic. Let's have a look at the reverb and delays. So first up we have reverb, which is the one I've been using so far. This one, it's like a big sort of hall. It's a very nice reverb. I'm assuming that one is in the main Katana amps as well, and the Katana Go, I guess. Let's go for spring. Don't know what I was doing there, but it was fun. I don't think that's the biggest reverb spring I've ever heard. Ah, come on. That's bigger. I didn't have it on the biggest setting. That's a good reverb. It's a nice alternative to the hall reverb. Oops, hang on, right. Spring. Hall or cavern. Darker. Let's look at that delay. Kind of want to do it with the octave. I'm guessing it's time. It's not, it seems to be level. That's odd. That's super odd. It's still fun, I mean, it's there, but I would like that. I'd like that to have a time on it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I don't think so. We've got delay and reverb, finally. Again, it's delay level, not time. I don't see a tap tempo on there, and I didn't see one in the manual or the guide that I was given. Set at 1 tempo. Okay. I think it's time to put it up against its predecessor, the Katana Mini. And for this, I'm only using room mic because I think that's going to be a more accurate representation of the differences. Now, this is not going to be a very scientific test. It's just one versus the other with room mics. First up, the Katana Mini Original. And that's the clean. Is that the clean channel? It is, yeah. Okay, now Katana Mini X. Now that's the clean channel, but it does drive pretty well. So let's just show the variation, because apparently the variation is cleaner. No, it isn't. That one's apparently more flat for bass and acoustic guitar. I don't really see the point in putting an acoustic guitar through this, because the acoustic would probably be louder than the amp. But we're going to do it. But just so you know, Mini and Mini X, all knobs were at 12, no reverb, no effects, because the Mini doesn't have it, it's only got delay. I still think the Mini is a good buy if you just want a tiny little amp for making sounds. I'll tell you about the Mini X in a moment. I've got my trusty Acoustasonic, the quietest of all my acoustic guitars, and I'm going to use the inbuilt tuner, which didn't do very well with the bass, has done great with electric. That was really far out of tune, and it's tuned it beautifully. I'm impressed. Right, now we're going to go for 12 across the board, just there. And we'll stick a bit of reverb on there as well, a bit of hall, or cavern, or whatever it is. I'm going to put the direct dynamic mic back on there. Hang on. take it back. The Boss Katana Mini was pointless with an acoustic guitar. The Mini X, that works. There's added, there's just a reinforcement. And it also doesn't sound like it's distorting at all to my ear, but this guitar is louder. Rusty, but not from the amp. That's stunning. That's really good as an acoustic amp. I am very, very surprised. I gotta put it on the synth. All right, synth. There you are. Useless, but still fun. Right, I'm convinced. I really didn't think this was... I'm just kind of doing it just so that, you know, so I've done it so I can show you that this was crap at acoustic guitar. It isn't. That's fantastic. I just want to see how loud it goes as an acoustic amp. Starting to distort there because I've got the gain pushed quite up. That is one of the best acoustic amps I've ever played. What a huge surprise. I would take that busking, definitely. And the fact that it has Bluetooth for streaming tracks from your phone, meaning that you could stream something from your phone, connect it via Bluetooth by holding down the tuner button like this. Hold it down, hold it down, hold it down. And then it'll flash at you, green, and then it should come up on your phone. Yes, there we go. I'm going to connect to it. That was a satisfying little beep. Great fun. Okay, I'm utterly surprised. I just do want to show you the Katana 50 versus the Mini X, which seems kind of pointless. But just to show that this... I'll just show you. This is going to be another short in-the-room mic sound rather than this dynamic mic, so I'll move that so it doesn't look like I'm cheating. Up first, clean channel, everything set at 12, just a bit of reverb. Right, now the Katana 50. EX, by the way. No comparison sonically. That's a 12-inch speaker in there. It's a 50-watt amp set at half volume. And it's big. The Katana 50 is an amazing amp. The Katana Mini X is a totally different situation problem solver. It's a different thing. There is no comparison sonically, though. I just wanted to show you because I know some people are going to be asking in the comment section, should I get the Mini X or the 50? So let's talk about that and other questions you might have about the Mini X. Now, while the Katana Mini X is very much a Katana, it is very different to the big boys. As I've just shown you with the Katana 50, they are far from being the same sonically, but they do bridge the gap between this one and the 50. So if this one always felt like a toy to you and you needed a few more features, then this Katana Mini X is definitely the one to go for. It's a 10-watt amp with a 5-inch speaker in there. It's battery powered that apparently lasts for about 10 hours, but you can play and charge at the same time through the USB-C. It is not the cheapest portable practice amp on the market, at around £150, 170 euros, and somewhere about that in dollars, but it is somewhat desirable in the sense that it does have the Katana effects, it does have the Boss name, and it is a professional-looking amp. I like to think of it as a sort of mini artist rather than a small Katana, because those knobs are on the top, those knobs are on the front, and that definitely makes me smile, because I was when I was using this one, always looking over trying to see what the knobs were set at. With this one, they're on the front, like amps should be. The covering kind of feels soft and almost like an Italian leather jacket that I used to have, a Napa leather. And this strap, which says Boss on it, is actually faux leather. There's nothing leather about it, but it feels really nice. And I'm quite a sort of sense person when it comes to touching stuff, and I love touching that. Please don't think I'm weird. Well, you can think I'm weird, but not for those reasons. On the back, there's nothing, by the way. It's just some information. There's no extra sockets. Everything you need and get is on this front panel. Which leads me to my first disappointment, and that is that there's no USB audio interface in this. And even though you do have the recording out, which will mute the speakers, and you can put it through a 3.5mm cable, I would love for that USB-C to also be an audio interface. I'm left with a little bit of a bad taste that it doesn't have that audio interface, because I think it would have been the thing that made this the ultimate desktop amp at under $200. And while I love most of the sounds, and I think what you've got here is a great practice tool that is portable, don't forget, at 2.7 kilos, it's nothing. That USB audio interface option is sorely missing for me, but I'm very happy that it has a tuner, because you never know what we might get in forthcoming Boss Katana stuff, because Boss tend to take their existing products, rip certain parts out, put other things in from other products, and then make that a new product. And that's how we got to Gen 3 of the big boy Katana, and that's how we got to Katana Mini X. My bottom line really is that this is not quite the best value practice amp you can get, but it is darn close, and it is a very good practice amp that I think most people are going to be very, very happy with. If you want to pick up one of these for yourself, there are links in the video description and around your screen somewhere. And let me know what you think of the Katana Mini X. Is it on your Christmas or birthday or Easter or Hanukkah wish list? Let me know. While you're down there in the comments section, to enter into this month's giveaway, you have to subscribe to the channel and let me know which was your favorite effect in this Katana Mini X, and why was it synth? I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Boss for sending this out for review. Bye-bye!